Hello there, it's me again, the ethereal voice of God. This time coming to you with a start of the episode interlude, I guess. I don't know what this is. Not an audio issue this time. It's about my shirt. My camera didn't like my shirt at all, and it kind of hurts to look at if you pay attention to it, which I had to do while I was editing this. Luckily, I do change it in the second half, so we don't have to deal with it beyond that. Can't do anything about it now, besides just not wearing the shirt again, which I won't do because it means I would have to look at it again while editing, and I do not want to do that. Anyway, that is all for now. I'll probably see you later in another episode where I apologize for some other mistake I've made. If you can't tell, I am a consummate professional. Thank you very much and enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to Starts Without Number Abaddon Season 3, Episode 6.
I love how it just says,
Yeah, it's very apt. The art is very apt. We were talking about Lost Cities and Liam was sighing in exasperation. And I got caught away.
It sometimes hurts me when people talk about like anything to do with archaeology.
Because we talk about it in general, we don't know
no idea
really
what
well.
they're talking about. Yeah.
Because we talk about it in generalizations and not very well.
Oh, I mean, if I was walking down the street and I went, you random person, like, what's an archaeologist? They'd be like Indiana Jones, and then I'd shoot them.
See, at least I know that is wrong.
Because that's what Indiana Jones would do. Like,
Indiana Jones and Lara Croft are not archaeologists.
At the very least, Indiana Jones has one thing going for him. He does put things in museums, and he does own a library.
He's at least 5% better than Lara Croft.
He does own a library. You can't take that away from him.
Does also destroy the context of any artifact he removes from any place ever whilst not recording the context. So
at least he doesn't. At least he doesn't destroy the entire ancient civilization's building.
I'm sorry.
I think we might be missing the entire point of this, and that's that he also kills Nazis, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's yep. All right.
Sure, Lara Croft.
So
he's not so much a 20th century archaeologist; he's an 18th century archaeologist.
Yeah, when they weren't.
He's a 50s archaeologist.
When they weren't archaeologists.
Yeah.
When that didn't exist. When it was just rich English gentlemen being like, "Oh, I like the look of this here artifact.
Oh, look, there's a building over there. It's probably 100 years old.
It's now British."
All right. Moving away from history.
We started as a train wreck. We started as a train wreck. No, I corrected myself. We started as a train wreck, and we've continued that. That means this entire session is just going to be a shit show, which is...
That's all of our sessions.
Exactly.
Which reminds me, have you guys read the Peter Grant series?
Never heard of it.
Shit, man. You're missing out.
So, what happened last week?
Space stuff.
Nice.
So what happened last week? Well, we just finished. We wrapped up a mission that went down the toilet for some.
I don't see how it went wrong.
Fine.
We transported some goods and we set sail for the Sol system, which we did because we wanted to get somewhere else, but we didn't want to go straight there because reasons.
Because you wanted to make money.
Yep.
So you went somewhere to pick up a job before we went to the place we wanted to go.
Yep. So we picked up a Martian psychic who wanted to receive their training somewhere not corporate.
Green showed Tail where he was born.
And time's just a concept, man.
Oh yeah, and me and Tail and the Herald kind of exploded their brains.
Herald's a title. It's like referring to your friend who is a king, the king. Hey, the king, what's up? Yeah, I mean, that's...
yeah. Hi, king.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The king. What's up, the king? How's it going, the king?
Does anybody understand what he's going on about?
Yes.
Liam does.
Yeah.
Well, then don't make shitty inside jokes.
It's not an inside joke.
Herald isn't his name. Herald is a title.
Yeah, but we
He
don't.
is a herald.
Yes, but we don't call him the Herald Augur. We all just call him Herald.
No.
Augur.
Augur.
No, no one
Augur's
calls him
his
Augur.
name.
Oh yeah, Augur. Augur's their
Fine then,
name.
Matt. Your new name is Harold.
I could see Tao calling him Harold. And
I don't
legitimately
know
thinking
how
it's his
to.
name.
I don't know how to. I'm having a hiccup.
Now
Continue.
on, Tails just going to call you Harold.
So, where are we going?
We are going to. Where's the damn thing? I know the name of it. I can't find it without looking it up.
Yep.
Yeah. You know the name, I just don't know the name without looking at the name.
We are going
Exactly.
to the Ioraka car system and the planet Galatea.
That's it.
Galatea.
The
And
most
what's
northern
special?
known system in the galaxy map.
What's special about?
It
It's
is
an
independent,
independent planet.
from the corporations and is owned by is basically a psychic academy for the largest one that is not owned by a company.
The only one, I would argue.
I thought you said the other planet had one as well.
Not psychics.
Okay,
Not an academy, not actual research.
yeah. So we're taking our new friend there while Tail and Augur want to go do some psychic bullshittery.
It warms my heart.
You don't have a heart.
It warms the thing that's where my heart should be.
One thing we did forget to notify, we did come across customs inspection.
Forgot about that.
that.
You
And
have to
Tail was
remember-
hiding in the cargo hold.
Yep.
The stowaway hold.
So we're
guess
gonna
it's-
have to doctor some ship idea because reasons.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it's kind of important to note who. We saw a lot of one particular faction in and around Mars and the customs blockade,
Yansar.
which was Yansar, the Yansar Protectorate.
Yeah, they apparently do things Martian a lot.
They are a protectorate. They would assume. Well, I would assume
They protect their interests.
protect people.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
And we found out that Tail's afraid of the dark.
Also, they are watching.
Oh yeah, and that. The void is watching.
I don't know what you're talking
Someone sure is.
about. Don't know what you're talking about.
What'd you say, Matt?
Someone sure is. Okay. Where do we? Is there anything in particular anyone wants to kind of fade into?
Oh,
We
man.
kind of got all of the travel like out of the way.
Yeah, we got most of the travel out of the
Um,
way, but I still want to change our ship idea.
You can- So you're gonna change
or
like
do
your
something
ID
to
and,
make
and
sure-
tags.
yeah, just do something to make sure that it can't be traced.
Sure. Yeah,
As
yeah,
we-
absolutely. Okay, yeah, I that's definitely possible. It's probably a fix roll.
Yeah, I want
So,
I
like-
want the Herald to help me with this.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, okay.
And I want Ethan to help you with this, but that's not going to happen.
So I mean, how does I'm curious, how does this happen? Miriam, how do you approach?
Well, once Herald is back on his feet after the psychic incident,
Yep.
and we're approaching our destination, Miriam will simply approach him and say, Herald, this place is more dangerous than our usual hunts.
So I don't. After that incident, Augur just kind of shut up themselves into their room, and hasn't
Oh.
left.
Right. So that's probably what happens is she opens the door.
Yeah.
And she just looks around, she sees you, and she says the things like it's we're going to a more dangerous place than usual.
So the first thing you see, you say that as you're entering the door. The first thing you see is the room is covered in like paper, just everywhere, like pasted onto the floor, on the roof, on
Is
like
there
the
red
walls.
string going across the walls?
it's not string. It's
Lasers.
It's like no, like it looks like fish line. Like it's it's
Yeah.
barely visible.
Connecting all the points.
Yeah, there's like fish. It's yeah, almost in like invisible, hard to see strands connecting bits of paper from random points all around the room. There's paper pasted to every surface of the wall. Each of them have like a little dot on them, and there's little strands connecting each of them. And Augur is in the middle of it, just sitting there. And if they had a face, they would look incredibly tired and like a mad person.
How many photos of teapots are amongst this mess?
Not enough.
Everything relates back to the teapot.
Augur, is everything okay?
Of course. What do you require? How can we help?
Ah, well, I'm just going to ignore all the paper. We need to mask ship ID. We don't want the corporates and the pirates and everyone else to know the Abaddon is in this system. It's not easy.
Sorry, but didn't we already do that?
When?
Start of the week on Monday. It's like, yeah. On Tuesday.
No. No, you did not do any of that.
Okay, sure. That sounds like something we can do. Are you sure we didn't do it?
Great. I'm pretty sure we didn't do it.
Could potentially be dangerous. And it's very illegal. Should we mention it's very illegal? We could go to prison for that. Maybe we did?
No. It's precaution. We don't want to make it easy for everyone to know where we are and who we are and what we do.
As long as you're aware that it is very illegal, we're happy.
Yes.
All right, you're going to need to give us a few minutes. There's a path out of here. We've forgotten it, though.
It's just paper. She walks into the mess that
Gets
made.
stuck in the web.
Yeah, like almost instantly you realize this is like spider silk. It's like hyper sticky spider silk. Oh, I wouldn't. That's not. Ooh.
Why did you?
Where did you?
What are you doing? You know, this is your room.
Thing is, I assume that Hell doesn't even have its own room. It's just in the server room.
No,
Have you tried shooting your way out?
luxury cabins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you don't need
Harold's
one.
gone.
I can. You know what? Wait here. I'll get the laser rifle.
No.
As you exit the room, fuck, I've forgotten his name. That's pretty bad.
Green.
Yeah,
Ethan.
Green. As you exit the room, Green comes around the other corner. Is like, Mitchell laser rifle.
Yep.
Hands it to you. There you go.
Thank you.
Turns around and walks away.
Green,
Doesn't ask questions.
Yeah.
where were you? How did you know I needed a laser rifle? And
Yeah. You
why
know,
did you carry one?
I like that you didn't ask where I got it. Okay. First point. Where was I? Around the corner. Listening. Why was I carrying the laser rifle? You always need a laser rifle. Someone always needs a laser rifle. Laser rifles are important. That's what I've learned. And I was right. So I'll be on my way. I just
As he walks
Did
away, you
you-
hear a cart rolling down the hall.
were you protecting the rest of the ship from the craziness going on inside that room? Or were you just thinking maybe the robot's gone
He,
mad?
he,
So you
he like looks like he stops. He takes a step out to see whether the door is still open, and he
Yeah,
sees
like
that it is.
August stepping out the
and he's-
room.
Olga
Yeah,
is
and
doing
he's-
gymnastics through the
Olga,
grid.
yeah, Olga steps out of the room, and he looks, and then he looks back at Miriam. Nope, definitely not that. Turns and walks away.
not
I
sure
just-
if lying.
I just imagine we hear a cart rolling down the hall as he goes.
Augur, how did you get out?
The path.
Here, and I give you the laser rifle. Put it in your room, and the next time, just shoot yourself out.
That is not necessary.
Why
This is
did you put spider webs everywhere?
to create a map?
A map of
Why
what?
else?
That is no map I've ever seen.
Not yet. Olga trails off, like, not super convinced about that statement.
To the viewers, I assume this map looks like what we saw in the last episode.
I think it looks like something that a crazy person has done. I don't think it looks like anything. Because you can't see most of the... Because it's spider silk, you can't see most of it.
Yeah.
Like it looks like fucking... Like, this person has gone nuts and has not cleaned out the spiders in too long.
But this person has gone nuts.
So, when do we need to get this
Yes.
done by?
Sooner rather than later.
That's very relative, Miriam.
As fast as possible. Go.
Sure.
Let's go do this. Let's go do this thing.
You're going to need to give me a name. Us a name.
Rocinante.
What?
Do we need to change the name of the ship, or can we just change the code?
You can do both. I mean, it's probably worth doing both.
Look,
Like
call
the
ourselves
code.
the Abaddon or something.
The ton of
what?
apples.
Appleton.
Okay. Well, let's go then. Better get it done.
Yeah. And we walk to the comms room, which we don't really have someone employed to operate.
I think he might be hanging out there sometimes.
Um,
I should really make Ethan's character sheet sometime.
can I make the roll before we enter the room?
I mean, you're an AI,
Liam?
so why not?
Ethan has decent stats.
Go for it, Matt.
Go
Alright,
for
just
it, Matt.
Why not?
fix.
Did you roll?
Is it fix?
Oh, yeah,
it's-
yeah, fix.
That's fixed.
No, I rolled. Nope, I didn't. It's asking me the strength. It's intelligence, yeah?
Yeah.
5. I'm gonna re-roll that.
That's double ones, friend.
I'm gonna re-roll
I'm gonna
that.
re-roll that. Good job. You just look into your head in the
Ooh.
future, and it's like,
It's 7.
Okay. It does the job.
Okay. Yeah, so we enter the room and Olga opens the thing and it's already been done. Like the physical changes, like something I don't know, there's a very obvious physical component that needed to be sorted in or whatever. It's already been done.
yeah. She like looks over it, like takes the computer, a different computer, checks some of the registry stuff, and she's just like,
It was done on Tuesday, or whenever Olga said it was done. We said you asked us.
"Hmm,
We'd already done it. It's the same name, the one you asked for.
She looks at Augur. She looks at the screen. This is a hack job.
Not our best work.
I suppose it works.
Is that all?
Sure.
Miriam,
I'm going
perhaps
to
you should...
sneak into the system, and we'll hope I can sneak down to the planet as well. Let's...
Before then, perhaps you should visit the medbay? You seem to be a bit
Why?
confused.
No, I'm not confused. You are the one that's confused.
Of course. Whatever you say, Miriam.
Yes. My memory is perfect. I remember when I asked you to do this, and it was not Tuesday.
Of course not. It was today.
Yes.
Yep. We can agree on that.
You're not going to try to kill anyone, are you?
Why would we try to kill someone?
I don't know.
That's very illegal.
To see how it works.
We know how death works, Miriam.
Are you sure?
That's a very good point.
Can I test it on
Olga
you?
turns around and walks away at that.
Well,
Miriam, can you run me a notice as
sure.
Will
Wisdom?
leaves? Yeah.
9.
Let me.
Ethan has skills
It
and
wasn't,
stats now.
It wasn't trying that hard. Yeah. See, I mean, you notice that you leave this room, the comms room, and you notice that like Green is kind of just hiding around the corner.
Fucking Christ.
Green,
I love him.
Green, are you bored? Is this your way of exercise?
He like appears from around the corner and he's holding another laser rifle. And he says, "Look, Captain, the way I see it, this robot thing has access to all the systems on this boat. Where I also see it, it head ain't quite screwed on right at the moment."
If he wanted to kill you, I don't think you could stop him.
No, but I'll try. See this?
Levi?
He like holds the laser rifle. It's a great screwdriver. Really good for fixing loose screws.
Well, you know the chance of you actually succeeding, given that he can see the future, is very, very small. Have you
You're
tried
right.
praying?
Pray to a God that I don't believe in. I have an idea, though.
Really?
Something make him a little bit less dangerous.
I'm all ears.
Well, the other way I see it, pretty much only one thing to stop whatever he is from taking control of a boat like this. He's waiting for a response. Like, he's very clearly waiting. He's proud of this idea. Like, he's waiting for a response.
The only way to stop him from taking control, lock him out of the system.
No, he can work his way back in, no matter what we do. The only
Fair
way
enough.
to stop him from getting back in is to put something in his place.
Okay, I'm listening.
So, whilst we were back on Mars,
Yes.
I noticed the station had it was one of him. It was controlling itself.
Mm-hmm.
I did some looking into things, and well, a lot of ships are like that. They have one of him building the ship, running things.
Yeah.
When I see it, you want to keep a crazy AI from taking over this tub. You put a sane one where it can't get.
That is a costly idea.
This is such a bad idea.
I love it.
He smiles. Nah, did some looking. Basic AI core, 10,000, 20,000 credits. Then all you got to do is convince one of them to jump aboard ship.
Darn.
And
It's a
you have bought this AI car, or you have
Oh,
stolen
hell
this
no.
AI
I don't have that sort of money.
Oh,
I'm just giving
want
you the
me?
idea, Captain.
Ah, now we are on the same broadcasting.
He kind of holds up his hands. He's like, look, I don't care whether you get a robot about this shit. I have my screwdriver. He holds up the laser rifle. And until its thing is screwed back on, I'm going to keep carrying this around. An idea to make it slightly less dangerous.
Well, I appreciate you worrying for his sanity, but that robot man thing was insane the moment I met him.
Oh, I ain't praying for his sanity. I'm looking out for the rest of us.
It's sort of the same thing.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But if that's what you want to do with your time, I approve. I think I look forward to seeing this situation be resolved as well. Hopefully, with my robot still functioning.
He says, and until it does, I'll carry the screwdriver.
You know, Green, I appreciate you being on board.
Thanks, Cap. I appreciate being on board too.
I'm going to sneak us into this new system.
All power to you.
Yeah, we are the Appleton now, not the Abaddon.
Not quite as menacing, but guess low profile.
Liam,
Hopefully
is the
nobody
cargo
thinks
we're
we're
bringing to the
carrying-
planet just a box of apples?
No. Okay, cool. So you arrive. The way you arrive in a system is you arrive at like the jump point, right? It's the area in which ships coming from metaspace arrive.
Yeah.
It's a rough, 100, 200 kilometer radius that you appear in just kind of almost randomly. You could, if you had some sort of stealth tech, you could activate that immediately when you arrive in system, or
Well, we
you
don't
can,
have.
yeah,
We don't have stealth tech. So the
or
idea
you
here
can
is
if someone's looking, they'll see you. But I guess the idea is to pretend to be someone else.
well, the idea here is basically to um, pretend like we're a rock.
So you're just gonna go dead, like
Yeah.
power and systems off, everything.
We're going
off.
dead on the trajectory to where we're going.
Basically, go use air to thrust us towards out of the general area while going basically stealth, pretending to be a
Sure.
rock.
Sure.
Doing submarine stealth mode.
Okay.
Obviously, if someone looked outside the window or scanned the place, they would see something moving, but they wouldn't
Place is
know
big.
it's a ship.
Okay.
At least not immediately.
I'm gonna ask you to roll, or whoever's doing this, gonna ask you to roll sneak with probably
Yep.
intelligence.
Yep.
Hey Liam, does Green have the last name
Oh,
Morriston?
Jesus
No.
Christ. Can I get a reroll, Harold? I assume not.
I don't think you can re-roll other people's rolls, can he?
I can.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is to avoid the detection? Then yes.
All right. Let's try again.
Actually, yeah, sure. But
Not much better anyway.
Well, I mean, a 7 is a success. A 6 is not.
So,
Yeah.
so the way that manifests itself, because Augur has been in their room the whole time. They appear in the cockpit, which they haven't done in fucking ages. And you were gonna do something, and they say, "You shouldn't do that, Miriam. They'll kill us all. Doesn't end well." And they just turn around and leave.
This thread does not go to a good place.
Yeah. Yes.
Go 5 degrees to your left. That's much better.
Okay.
Well, we try at least.
Yeah.
Doesn't go very well.
So you appear in system. The Appleton cuts power and just kind of starts a slow spin to try and look like debris or rock or whatever, right?
Yep.
And
The
I
only
think we
thing I have
see
going is the passive listening gear to basically
cool.
check if anything.
Yeah. So you see in whatever sort of like passive radar or anything you've got going on, you see a lot of ships, like a lot more than you're expecting.
Uh-oh.
Huh. Can I like see what type of ships and what faction they're from?
Yeah, so they're tagged for the most part. They're tagged as Black Sun Syndicate ships, which a small amount of digging provides you with the information that Black Sun are I guess the best way to put it is a psychic mercenary training cell.
Huh.
You're not hailed or anything, but they don't attempt to contact you. They do, and I think Miriam, you're experienced enough to know this. They look like they're in a blockade, right? They are between the entry point to the system, the jump entry point to the system, of which there is only one, and the planet.
Also, I forgot to roll this.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh. So we just hear tail in the background somewhere.
No, Tail's not making any noise.
Oh. Okay, so they have basically I can't sneak past these guys, obviously, if I want to go to the planet. Fuck. Well, okay. Power on systems, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's head through this blockade fleet and see what they do.
Yeah. So you power on your systems, and as soon as the ship's like transponder starts pinging again, you get it's probably an automated message, but just like text appears on the screen, and it says approaching craft. The below planet has been cordoned off by the Black Sun Syndicate for breach of, and then there's like a list of fucking corporate like rules violations, and then it finalizes with transport to and from planet is being restricted. If you would like to like get a pass, basically, if you want to be able to be allowed down to the planet, you must board, and it gives like the name of the largest blip in this, which seems to be almost like a mobile space station. Like this thing is huge. You have to go there and get like administrative permission to approach the planet.
What faction is the administrative part of this? Is there
it's for the most part, most of the ships here are Black Suns. Most.
What else is there?
There is a contingent of Yansar Protectorate ships, and a contingent of EKB ships.
Interesting.
And Black Suns are like what, psychic mercs, you said?
Yeah. Psychic Merc, like training academy, militant psychics. Like
I
training for
suppose-
militant psychics.
They're
Yeah, I
corporate.
suppose
They're corporate
as we're-
psychics.
They're definitely corporate.
I suppose as we're heading for this designated passport region with the
Yeah.
giant space station, I want to do some research on this situation
Sure.
and
Yeah,
see
okay.
what I can dig up.
Let's get you to make me a roll, shall we?
It's either know or administer. 'cause
Probably just
administer
know.
is like, yeah. Yeah, administer is analyzing records and stuff.
I mean, it could be
know is
either.
like-
On it, it depends on kind of what direction you're approaching this from. It could be either.
Yeah, and basic facts about topics and stuff, academic shit.
Yeah. So I mean, no.
It's the same stat for me, so I'll go administer.
Sure.
With intelligence.
Yep.
Let's hope I roll well.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think you pretty quickly come across a lot of like news articles, a lot of like warning notices, a lot of like, we are going to do this. This is going to happen at this point. Of a Black Sun's blockade of Galatea. There's a lot of, I think you dig deep enough to find the like, there's the official news sources, which kind of lists the same corporate law violations that the restriction warning does. But I think you dig far enough to get to like, the rumor mill behind the scenes, which says along the lines of the like Galatea was getting a little bit too populous, a little bit too
Successful.
yeah. And Black Suns doesn't like that. It's infringing in their business. It's cutting out their bottom line.
How? They're a mercenary psychic company.
They're still so they're training, right? They're militant psychic training, and there are a lot of people who are of a less than normal aggressive persuasion who would rather go outside the corporate bounds where otherwise they wouldn't really have had the choice. They're just losing students is the rumor.
All right. So Black Suns
They're
decided
losing troops.
that because they're losing psychic hires, basically, they need psychic hires to continue their thing. Their shtick.
Yeah, I mean that's how they make their money, right? They
Yeah.
train these people and then they hire or sell these people to others.
Okay,
And-
so they hire psychics out as mercenaries, and Galatea basically
It's competition,
circumvented.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically compete.
And they have other competition, right? Other competition is taking people away from them, but legally they can't do anything about the other competition. They can do something about Galatea. Galatea is unaffiliated; they're outside the law. And the other two contingents, there's the Black Suns station, the mobile station, which is their like main hub, their training facility. There's a lot of rumors that EKB, which is the shipbuilding syndicate, have interest in that station. That one way or the other, they are either financially invested or for some reason they have some sort of interest in the station. And Yansar just kind of is involved in everything. They try to be like, that's part of the Protectorate's philosophy, is that they have to be everywhere. If someone's breaking the law, the Protectorate's going to come after you.
All right. So EKB is financially invested, maybe.
Somehow, yeah.
Yansar is involved because they're Yansar.
You've hit the nail on the head. Exactly right. Yansar
Yes.
are
Yansar
Yansar.
is Yansar. Yep.
Yansar are Yansar, and thus they are here. The Protectorate has a hand in every pocket, it seems.
Yeah. and basically the Galateans have no legal recognized status to compete with these guys.
So Black Suns see them as an easy target.
And that's why they have a blockade fleet over
And
Galatea.
that's why they have a blockade fleet.
Comparatively, how big is Black Suns compared to the other corporations?
I mean they're up there. They're not as big as the big three, because the big three are everything.
Yeah.
But they're no small name.
Roughly how many ships are in orbit?
I can tell you this, there are 16 ships, including the station.
What would the firepower of them be?
More than us.
Apocalyptic. If
The
they wanted to
station
kill
is
this planet,
special.
they could kill this
Yeah.
planet. It's bad press, probably.
No.
They are in
Plus,
the press.
it would ruin the bottom line if you started having violence and conflict. The blockade fleet
Yeah.
is like,
We're doing something. We're sending a message.
yeah.
By the way, after we enter the system, you just hear Tail start singing in your head. Like everyone.
Great.
Awesome.
Like she's singing a nursery
How
rhyme
How far away can you do that?
a couple hundred meters.
Okay, no
Yeah.
worries.
I believe it is it's about 100 meters or so.
I think your psychic link has a limit on how many people you can sync to, but
She's not controlling it right now. Really, it's
you're
not
just
very well.
broadcasting.
It'd be like whoever's closest. Or
Yeah.
however many people are closest. Okay, cool.
And Augur's
So
actively
you-
tapping into that radio. Oh yeah.
Do you make
Um,
way for the Black Suns station?
What is my range? Let's see.
But I also want to see, using my knowledge of what has happened.
Yep.
I want to hire someone on board this station to get me a pass instead of.
You just want to bribe your way to this planet?
Well, I want to hire someone on this station so that I can basically circumvent the usual greeting cards.
They
and
probably
be
don't
like,
have any friendly lawyers.
Get a lawyer. They're mercenaries. Hire a fucking lawyer.
You want
Get
to
a
bribe someone?
lawyer.
You want to
Yeah.
pay someone to do it for you? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want
That's
to pay
fine.
someone to do all the paperwork.
Do you want to pay someone to do it the official way, or do you want to pay someone just to make this happen?
Oh man.
Make it happen.
Official way is 1. Pay someone to make it happen is 2. Pay
Yeah, I
someone to make
expected
it
that.
happen.
I expected that. Yeah, I mean, we don't need. We'll make a roll to see like how, like the price you get. We don't even have to play this. If you want to
Yeah.
pay someone to make it happen, you can transfer some credits, and it happens, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it's a mercenary station. Grift is a thing. So
Yeah.
just use the channels available to me
put
to
put money in the right
fast-track.
pocket. Yeah, you put money in the right pocket, and you probably contact their like control, their like traffic control, and be like, hey, just looking to make this real quick and easy, if you know what I mean. And then, yeah, they pass you through to the right channels, and
Yeah.
Simple
Yeah.
delivery, nothing fancy, yada yada yada.
so I think like the
So
base
like a
cost.
trade
Let's,
roll, then
Yeah, I'll let you know like the base cost for something like this,
Yeah.
and then we can see how well you get it from there.
Just so you know, Ethan has trade.
I also have
Um,
trade.
She's a simple businessman.
Yep.
Businesswoman who has nothing to do with any sort of nefarious work or dealings. She just does business.
Yep.
Clearly, she does business with a sniper rifle.
Exactly. I think the base cost for something like just like click your fingers, this happens, is probably around 6,000 credits. Make a
Alright.
roll to see.
Trade with charisma.
Do you want Ethan's assistance?
And-
Never mind. I was going to ask if you wanted Ethan's assistance.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, I think a 10 can probably get you down to 4,000.
Perfect. I pay 4,000 credits.
So you pay 4,000 credits, and you just you don't even leave. I don't think you leave the Appleton.
It's still called the Abaddon.
It's the Appleton.
No, it's called the
Um,
Appleton.
And I think you literally just you arrive at the station and your clearance codes get beamed through.
Yeah.
So
I think you've got some sort of. I think they like it gets beamed through and like it's some sort of like diplomatic pass.
Oh man, diplomatic pass. I love diplomatic passes.
And yeah, you have go through to Galatea.
Sweet.
we could have like that's 1/4 of a ship AI. I'm just saying.
Well,
The thing that
let's
scares me
just
about this is
say-
that Matt wants it.
yeah. Let's just say that if we ever come across a ship AI core, I will not
Leave it.
hesitate to recycle it on board my ship. But I'm not
Like-
going to pay out of pocket for this.
Perfectly reasonable idea. Green speaks a lot of sense. They have sane AI. That's a great
Matt
idea.
just wants to take it so he can corrupt it.
No.
But yeah, this diplomatic pass. What does it? How solid is this in terms of like having rights and privileges in terms of like ship and stuff?
Access to and from the planet.
Oh,
Not
okay.
actual diplomats.
Well, I mean, that's what a diplomatic pass would get a diplomat is
Yeah.
like you are allowed
not a-
past this blockade. You and
Yeah.
your ship is allowed past this blockade.
Yep. It's not a
Um,
trader's pass, right? So you can't just start making up a bunch of trades
No.
and goods and services. But
No.
I can go there. I just
You
can't.
can go there.
I just can't leave with anything.
Legally.
Yeah, legally.
That's
Yeah.
why we have stowaway bays, whatever they're called.
All right.
Nicholas Holt.
So you see like the Abaddon just kind of cross
Appleton.
sections
Come
with
on.
this thing. It goes in a slingshot directory towards the planets, and then we look at the planets and like its main cities, its space hubs or whatever.
Yeah.
How populous is this planet?
More populous than more populous than Dawn, but it's still relatively centralized. It's not huge. It's not successful, like a hugely successful colony by any means. You have the spaceport and the small city that's grown around it, and the Psychic Academy that's kind of grown around that.
What
Okay,
color is the
Um,
planet?
purple.
Color?
Yep.
Green?
Like, so Earth
and-
is predominantly blue, yeah? Is this like a
It's an Earth
It's
planet.
it's an Earth-like planet, but the inverse. So you've got more green than blue, but you've got both.
Cool. That is all.
And I assume we go in.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
assume that there's only one space station, but is there others? Are there others? Like
No, there is only one. I don't think
runs the
Galatea
space
has. Yeah, I don't think Galatea has a like a planetary spaceport. I think there is like a space elevator of sorts that goes from atmosphere to this orbiting hub.
interesting.
I don't think the station itself was probably set up. Like this whole thing was probably set up by the original founding like corporation that settled this colony that then failed. It's not really run by anyone. It's run by people, but they're all unaffiliated.
It's
Oh,
owned
man.
by the people of the planet.
So
Go
anyone
communism.
going to this place usually just parks in orbit, right?
Yeah, the ships don't go into orbit. This is like a pretty standard thing for colonies. It's what they do before they make the spaceport, because a lot of ships that are coming during the like early parts of a
Are too
colony
big for ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I
if they
mean-
go to the ground, they stay on the ground.
We can-
Exactly.
we can land on we can land on this atmosphere.
We're
We have-
atmospheric
I mean,
filters
yeah.
anyway.
like you can just find a field and land in, right? You don't need a spaceport. I'm just saying.
Just
there
go
isn't.
land on their main farm. No one will mind.
Look over there, Jim Bob. Some fucking asshole is parked out in the field.
God dang it!
Making damn crap circles.
Oh my god.
Even aliens.
But yeah, I assume there's not a lot of atmospheric landing pads around.
There's none. Well,
Yeah.
realistically, there's none. There's probably one or two in the academy.
They're owned and used by the academy.
Yeah, they're more for like in atmosphere shuttles than anything else.
Shit.
Just
Well,
land in a field.
Yeah. I'm gonna put out a request. Like I'm just gonna put up a job notice as I'm going towards the planet and be like, make me a landing spot, assholes.
I mean, there are fields.
Yeah,
Land
but I
Just
want like a
fields.
protected field. So I want someone. I want someone I can point to and shoot if something goes wrong. Basically.
I don't think you're gonna get that.
Yeah, I don't think you get any takers on that, right?
Well, I'm assuming there's
If you want
at least
protection,
unknown. Yeah,
you can land at the orbital,
fuck that.
take the elevator down.
Not stop being
Otherwise-
cheap.
You're
Yeah,
landing in a field.
we're
And
No,
gonna.
he
he's-
doesn't want to pay for it.
He's the inverse of
What?
cheap because he wants to pay someone.
Yeah, this is the inverse of being cheap.
What? I don't
Which-
understand what you're trying
Yeah,
to
we
accomplish.
just land in a fucking field.
Yeah, we're just gonna land on the. We're gonna
Yeah.
pick a field and land there then.
Just land in the
Yeah.
middle of the central square. Not,
I mean,
sure
yeah,
nothing can go wrong there.
you find a clearing in the kind of woods that
That's not
surround
Jim
the
Bob's
town.
farm.
And you land the Appleton in said clearing.
Sweet.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
I think Ishtar. I don't know who she'd approach. Maybe Miriam. I think she
Yeah, there's like a
recognizes that
meeting.
Miriam
There's
is
probably
the,
like there's probably like a meeting in the mess hall after landing,
yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean,
unless she approaches us me before.
I mean, it's probably during the meetings. I think we all sit down for the meeting. Everyone's there. Green has his laser rifle, and Ishtar, and I think Green has his laser rifle, and he's just kind of like looking at Olga.
Is this after we've landed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the first time Olga has left their room for like a couple days. They are wearing like a Greek toga, like a green Greek toga. Like, Google any philosophers from Greek time. It's just that. It's super subtle. It's
As
just
you
Greek
walk
toga.
in, you said it was green, right?
Yeah, it's also remember that
As-
Olga's skin is like bronze, so it's
Yeah.
bronze skin on green toga.
As you walk in, Green's like the color.
It is a nice color, isn't it?
He nods as he looks at you with his laser rifle.
Right.
Olga goes and
I-
sits down.
Yeah, I
Gentlemen,
think
everyone's here. Our passenger is here. We have landed on Galatea.
Tail's not
Yeah.
looking very well right now.
Ishtar says, "What now?"
Well, there was some problems getting in. There's a blockade and of well, let's just say mercenary fleet citing Galatean corporate law violations. But we bypassed the blockade, and we are now here on a diplomatic pass. We have access to the planet, but we don't have much more.
I don't know how to be a diplomat.
Well, you don't need to be a diplomat. All it really means is you can talk, but you can do some work maybe, but you cannot take the work back upstairs.
You have an upstairs.
She points at like a hologram of like the space elevator and the space station and everything. That's like the system.
Miriam, are you sure you got a diplomat's pass,
Yes.
not a trader's pass?
Yep.
Oh dear. This may complicate things.
Probably, but I have faith that our smuggling compartments can hide small amounts of cargo if we need to.
That's what you said.
Yes.
Um,
We're gonna get a shuttle to take us to the city. But before we do that, we're gonna have to browse the internet and find out what the shit is going on.
I don't
Aside from
understand. Don't we already know there's a blockade?
Aside from the corporate violation, Galatea has no recognized legal status. So, talking to Galateans, we'll have to find out who exactly those non-legal entities are and talk with them. Because I don't think we want to get psychic training from mercenaries. That would sort of defeat the purpose of going here.
We came here to see the academy. Wouldn't they be the people we need?
Not necessarily.
I don't
The
think you
academy-
understand how psychics work.
Well, you see, the violation the Galateans are charged with is to train psychics outside of corporate oversight.
Does that really matter?
We are basically
Yes.
going to violate the shit out of that law.
Yes.
You've done that multiple times in this past few months.
Yes.
Well, sure.
Do you not
But-
remember what we did last?
What is your point?
Why do you care?
Okay, this is important. Mastery of space. You need to know the rules before you can violate them.
But like I
Tails.
said, you violate them all the time.
Tail, Miriam won't admit this, but the real reason is she's a romantic.
She just kind of like stares at Augur and doesn't say anything.
I don't understand what you mean.
You will. Just give it time.
Yeah, I can hear something blowing, but I don't know what it is.
That ain't better.
Nope.
Is that any better?
Yes. That's weird.
Is
Yeah.
that any worse?
Nope.
no,
Okay then.
that's perfect.
So yeah, so she basically tries to put out some news articles that she discovered about who exactly is being charged with these violations.
Yeah, I mean it's Galatea as a whole, right? It's their entire
Yeah.
community. They are as its entirety outside of corporate law. Yeah, they're not being charged as like a single entity. Well, I guess they are being charged as a single entity instead of individuals.
Yeah, but
Miriam,
there's
we're
bound
not
to be
here
like
to kill them.
there's bound to be some individuals tied up in this. Someone who
Yeah,
speaks up
I mean,
for
it-
Galatean cause. Someone
It's
who's
the head of the the institute, right? It's the head of the psychic institute.
Yeah.
A professor something. I don't think I have a name for this man yet. Let's get a name generator.
I don't understand what you're implying, Tail.
Miriam, I've been with you for quite a while now. I know when you speak like this, you want to get something out of someone.
Yes.
I don't think that's a good idea here.
I'm a merchant. I get paid.
No, that's not what this is about. We need these people's help. I need their help.
Our
If you
passenger
try
needs
to
help.
if you try to force them into doing what you want, they may not help me. And if that happens, I will.
Tail, You are so illegal. I don't even know how to say arrested.
What do you mean?
She just kind of like looks at you and like makes this gesture, like the whole of you illegal by
That's
corporate
rude.
law. By corporate law, you are an asset of a corporation, and you are no longer doing what they want. You are
I was
here on my ship.
kidnapped.
Look, that doesn't matter. The legality of the markings don't lie. You are
Doesn't.
super fucking illegal. If I take you to the city and I talk to the guy and I'm like, there's this corporate stooge who has escaped, who wants your training, that's not going to go very well.
Liam, I want to use Oracle to solve this situation.
What question are you asking Oracle?
Who is the person that we go? Who is the person we meet that is the leader of the free psychic movement or whatever it is?
Does he care about slaves or
Just
Like,
like,
what
what's
are you
their name?
asking?
Who are they?
Complicated question. Professor Richard Harrell.
Well, why don't we just go speak to Professor Richard? Professor Richards or Harold?
Harold.
Richard Harold?
Well, why
That's
don't we
the
just go
guy
speak
that I
to
was
Professor
referring
Harold?
to already, or someone else.
Yeah, you referred to him.
We are going to talk to him. Well, I am going to talk to him.
He'd very much like to meet Tail.
Bringing Tail into that might lead to violence.
Miriam,
No.
I am here because I want to be here. Shut up.
Fine. You know what? You people are so naive. You need a lesson. I will take you.
That's probably the first time Tails ever said anything aggressive to anyone.
Yeah, but I want to protect you. Not initially. You will have to protect yourself.
She's lying. She will.
I am not lying.
If Olga
Miriam,
could smoke,
why
they would
don't
be
you want me
smoking.
to go here?
She shrugs. I want you to go, but I also want you to learn. I want you to master this space called reality.
Not what's Miriam's surface thoughts?
She wants to see, like, there's an anticipation, like, how does Tail handle herself on her own? Like, how would she even get in contact with this guy? I want to see, like, there's like a slightly cruel throwing the cubs into the lion's den or whatever, like, yeah, the like lion throwing rocks at you kind of thing. But it's like, I just want to see what you do without my help, and then that's the anticipation, is you'll succeed or you'll fail, and that will be fun to watch.
Miriam, you're not very nice.
No, I'm not.
Why?
She cares, though.
No, she doesn't.
She does.
I can read her thoughts.
In her own way.
Green, can you help me find them?
We know where he is.
You do?
He has an office.
Yes, you just have to get there.
Okay, it's not that hard, is it? We just go there.
Olga shrugs.
I don't understand why Miriam is so worked up.
I
Let's
just
find
smile.
out. It will be exciting regardless of what happens.
I think
I'm
she
going
wants
to
to see me fail.
secure. Yes, I'm going to secure passenger entrance and access to this guy. You manage on your own.
Why don't we all just go together?
That's a bad idea.
If you say so.
I guess with that, Miriam and Ish leave. Like, do you just take Ish and?
Yeah, I ask Ish, like, I basically ask her, like, so you want the psychic training? This guy can provide you, this professor can provide you with it, maybe. Do you want to check this out? Or do you want to stay here and see what happens?
She nods. I think she says, I think I want to learn first, at least.
Great. I'll get us a taxi and we'll just head off.
I don't think
Okay.
a taxi's going to come out here.
Of course it is. Hover place thing. It's an Uber. I just text the local Uber and get someone to drive up here.
Well,
Right?
I mean, probably need to walk.
I
I've
think
walked further.
I think we cut away from that
yeah.
with the scene
I
of
basically
Miriam
equipped
and
myself.
Ish. Like,
And we head off.
yeah, I think we cut away from that with like a scene of Miriam and Ish getting into some sort of like hover Uber and like
Automatic taxi transport.
Yeah, like making their way off towards the academy, and then we cut to a scene of Augur and Tail like walking.
Walking's
bring
not
Green?
that hard. Is
But
Green
clearly
coming with
not.
us or is Green staying?
Oh yeah, Green's going with the crazy robot.
Then he would have forced me to put my hood on then.
Yeah.
Because Tail never does that by herself unless someone else makes
Oh,
her.
I know. That's why Green is constantly doing it. Okay, yeah. We
So, Liam,
I think
question.
yes.
This city is simply being blockaded. There's Black Sun's
The
people aren't
planet
on
is-
ground, right?
No, they're not on the planet.
This is still technically a free bastion, right?
Technically.
But like by the thought of the people running this place, they would be under the impression that they still rule this place.
What do you mean?
Like the who runs this place? Like the city,
Academy.
the academy. Okay.
Yeah.
And the academy, the academy is like diametrically opposed to Black Sun, correct?
Yeah. And corporate, like,
Yeah, they're all about
Corporatism
free
as a whole.
thought and like free body and that stuff, right?
eh,
Well,
They'd be against slaves.
it's an assumption you can make.
We can assume they're probably against slaves.
what's their
It's an
track record
assumption
with
you can make.
Okay. Yeah, we just
The
walk, it's
assumptions
not
you
that
make are
far.
yours to make.
Be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
All right.
We just walk.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
why do you think Miriam wants to see me fail?
The way Miriam always learns is either through failure or success. That's how all of us learn. But she sees failure as a way to learn. She doesn't want you to fail because you'll fail. She wants you to fail because she'll think you'll learn a valuable lesson from it. Because she cares about you. Because she's a romantic.
That's not okay. I just don't understand.
You will. You have to give it time, though.
So, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't even think Miriam and Ish's scenes really didn't really like it just happens, right? Miriam knows her way around bureaucracy, and she just gets Ish through. And I think you'll come back into the scene later, but it will have been with
Like,
all of the like
The reason I
minutia
did
done,
this
right?
is basically to make sure she gets
Yeah.
Ish gets her own personal like clearance,
Yeah.
and I don't have to deal with her being involved in everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that just happens, right? Like you and Ish will come back into the scene, but when we see them
Oh, yeah.
next, all of the like minutia of all of that will be done.
All the
Yeah.
politics will be completed.
They won't have to worry about any of that. because they got there first, and Miriam knows what she's doing. I think we see Olga and Tails like play of events at first, at least. And we see them making. Yeah.
I should mention that Olga's lugging around like a big suitcase, like an old clunky suitcase with like big brass buckles on it.
Okay. And I think we see, them walking around, and they make their way through, and like the academy is relatively obvious to see when you like the city itself isn't very built up.
It's the big Hogwarts looking building.
It's the big building in the middle. So you make your way towards it relatively easily, and I think you make it there pretty easily. And you just see people. You've made it into what you would assume is the premise of this academy, and there's just people around. A lot of them are wearing. You see the occasional one wearing an almost uniform, and then there's just others. I'm not sure if you've ever been in like a university campus that's been built into a city center. In where I live, we have kind of a few newer university campuses that were built at the same time as the city they're in. So they're like directly intertwined. You have shop precincts in there that people outside of the academy would go and use. This is pretty similar to that. It's not
That's
really
basically the Brisbane's university.
It's not self-contained. It's part of the existing fabric of the
Is
city.
Professor Harold's like his office?
Professor Harold?
Is his office like listed as a location?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, you can just go to there's like a directory.
I mean, I imagine there's a website, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We just Olga is taking Green and Tail to his office.
Okay. Do you like force an appointment through?
Jump down.
Can you book appointments with him online?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think he has. Yeah.
No.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you make it through, and you make it in towards where his office is. And I think before you make it there, you are stopped by a woman, like a taller woman in this sort of academy uniform. She smiles at you and says, I think she probably looks at Tail, I guess, and says, hello, ma'am. How can I help you today?
Hi, I'm Tail. I'm confused. Everything is strange at the moment. I'm sorry.
Are you okay? Do you need medical help?
No, but maybe yes. I don't understand what's going on.
Look, take a seat. And she looks like compassionate. And she she gestures a seat and she says, I'll get some water and I'll call some medics. Just wait here.
I'm not sick. It's my power. I've never understood it.
She smiles. Then you're in the right place. Are you here to enroll?
No.
It is the only way you can really grow to understand.
I don't need to understand my power. I need to understand what it's with.
We have an appointment with Dr. Harold, Professor Harold.
Harold?
Harold, or the...
Oh, yeah. Is it just Harold? Oh, I've been calling him. All right.
I know. She says, oh, is that so? I wasn't aware the professor had any appointments today.
He isn't aware either.
I think she pulls up like a compad and she looks like she's checking a schedule.
He's not aware yet.
I'll have to see if he has time for you.
He definitely does. And if he doesn't, he'll want to make time.
She, like, it's the kind of look that you expect. Like for I guess for everyone else, like AI exists. They are considered sentient. They are considered as much alive as a human being.
But they're also considered annoying.
No, they're things that look like Matt are generally not fully sentient AI. They are butlers, waiters, novelty. They're not.
Yeah, I mean,
AI don't tend to have bodies.
I mean, they do.
That,
It's just
like,
and they can be eccentric, but he looks clockwork.
Yeah,
like it's not. He doesn't look like an AI.
It looks like an art piece. Like, it
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
look like this is not a practical thing.
Exactly.
Like, they're made of bronze and have 2 faces.
Yeah.
3 faces.
And their eyes are gems, and they're wearing a fucking toga.
Yeah. What do you say? You don't have to say something here to convince her that what you've just said is actually true, and not just what everybody who comes here says.
The Harold here, he's my friend. He knows what will happen and how it'll happen.
That's not true.
She laughs and says, "Are you sure you don't? Have you had a knock to the head?"
Tail?
Not recently.
I can fetch the medics. Just wait here. And she pulls up like a comm terminal and like types something into it.
I connect to her mind. Does she resist?
No, I don't think so.
I tell her to listen to me, please. Does she respond?
Let's see what sort of psychic she is. How many disciplines are there?
6.
Okay.
While this mind meld, while this mental connection dialogue is happening, you hear the background sound of Augur is explaining to Tail why they don't know what's going to happen because lots of different stuff could happen. It's just we blow over it. It's in the background, but very in depth explaining.
You'll probably actually explain it to Green.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's roll to see what disciplines this woman has.
Because everyone here has a discipline. Even the secretaries. 4 should be telekinesis and biosonics.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's a bio. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You are correct.
I have the list in order.
Oh, I have my book. Yeah, she's a biosonic telekinesis. So I think out loud, she says, "I can hear you."
And listen to this. Using my telepathy, I give her a flash of what I saw when Augur and I last connected.
Can you do that?
I can show them images and stuff.
That shit has to be ingrained in her memory.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I believe that is. I just don't. Show me the psychic power that says you can do it. I believe you, but
I think I can.
I kind of believe you. Where's your character sheet? Where are you?
Is it level 1?
The telepath can send thoughts and images over a telepathic contact.
Okay. Okay. I mean, you send the image you have in your head of what you saw. And I think she says, once again out loud, she says, "This is just the maelstrom. Many have seen it before you."
It speaks to me. It told me that it's watching.
It speaks to many of us. Not me, but many of our kin.
I heard its voice, its physical voice. Augur heard it as well. Did Augur actually hear it?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Maybe?
No?
I don't remember.
Liam?
I don't know.
I think you did.
She says,
Olga didn't. You told Olga afterwards.
"Yeah, I'm pretty sure
yeah,
you told
that
her."
was it. Yeah,
But you
Um,
transmitted that message. You transmitted the image.
yeah. I did the
and
same thing I'm doing here.
Yeah, she says, yeah, I think she says the maelstrom speaks to those of us in many different ways. To me, it allows me to. It tells me what ails you and allows me to fix it. It tells me what I need to do. To others, it tells them what is going to happen, what is coming.
I know what is
To-
coming.
Then you are like some we have here. You are precognitive. You can see glimpses of what might be, and some interpret that as the maelstrom talking to them. You are not alone in that belief. It's not uncommon.
Yes, but I wasn't asking a question. I was seeking an answer, and it told me.
The two can be the same thing. It can be intertwined. Maybe sometimes we don't even know the question we ask, but a maelstrom is bigger than all of us. It's one of the first things we learn here, one of the first things we teach. It is unknowable in its whole.
That's not
If
true.
you can understand what's wrong with people, then you will know I'm physically fine.
She looks at you and says, physically, yes, but physically isn't the only judge of a person. And she looks at you, Olga, and says, although I know that many of your kind believe that everything is completely noble and rational, this maelstrom is not.
The maelstrom
We
is
don't
anything but
have-
rational. You are right there, but it is knowable.
She shakes her head. No, it's not.
Not in the way we understand it now. No. But in the way we will understand it, yes.
I think from like off to the side of this conversation, we hear another voice say, Ingrid, it's fine. This one has interesting ideas. I'm sure a few of our professors would like, well, they could talk your ear off on the subject of the maelstrom and the way we see it and the way we know. And he looks at you both and holds out his hand. I am Professor Richard Havel. And you? I've just fucking moved back.
What?
Hello?
You right?
You're good.
Hello?
Hello? Okay. What
Nothing
did I cut
happened.
off there?
No, nothing happened.
Okay,
That's why
I
I was
just-
confused.
I just got the internet is unstable message on my screen.
Nothing happened on our end, at
okay.
least.
Cool. Yeah, you guys froze up for a second and I got that message, so I thought
Yeah.
it frozen up. But yeah, no, we're good.
Greetings. Greetings, Professor
Hi, I'm
Harold.
Tail.
Yeah, at the exact same time. We are the
Yeah,
Herald
we
Olga.
literally do it at the same time.
Hi, I'm Tail. Greetings, we are the we are the Herald Olga.
That's green.
So, metapsionics and telekinesis.
Metapsionics is fun.
It's very fun. Especially when you're the head of a psychic academy.
Yeah, it is.
Especially when you're high powered and can do super shit with it.
Hmm.
That's my favorite part about psychic stupidity.
We have a meeting with you, Professor Harold. Or we will have a meeting with you.
He he looks at you. I don't believe I had anything on my schedule.
So then we have a meeting
didn't.
with you.
He chuckles, and I think she, Ingrid, as we now know her name, I think she says, "It's okay, Professor. I can," and he like shakes his head. No, fine, come on through. I was just going to get lunch, but it can wait for inquisitive minds such as yourselves. Yeah, he steps back into his office and leaves the door open.
Okay, I'm gonna use a power.
Okay.
Yeah, we go in. I go in as well.
What
but
power are you
sense the
using?
need. Olga goes, sits down in a chair, puts their suitcase on their lap, opens it, and pulls out like 4 like sandwiches that have been wrapped up, and passes one to Professor Harold. Don't worry, we brought lunch.
Love that.
Yeah, like they're
And it's just what he needed. It's just what he wanted as well.
Yeah, it was like what he was gonna go get.
yeah, it's like wrapped in like some cloth that like very brightly decorated and wrapped in twine.
Okay.
Has
Okay.
the olive on the toothpick.
Also, they pull out their portable tea set and start brewing some tea because there's a portable tea set. I'm gonna roll for that.
Yeah. Because you have the
Fucking
Mary
good-
Poppins bag,
some
because that's actually
great
possible of
tea.
you.
Yeah.
It's a matte suitcase. Well, not matte. It's a
I-
big suitcase.
So I think he turns, smiles and turns to Tail, and says, so you are precognitive?
Somewhat.
Well, it was. I appreciate you bringing this along. It was, chuckles, exactly what I was looking for.
That was Harold, not me.
You're very welcome. Please enjoy the
He-
tea.
He stops for a second and says, do you mind?
I'm afraid you're going to need to. I'm afraid you're going to need to be more specific there, Professor Harrell.
His mind is all over the place.
Says, you'll forgive my... You'll forgive me, but you do not exist. You are, as far as I know, an impossibility. You will allow me to confirm your claim.
We haven't claimed anything, Professor.
You have claimed you are precognitive.
I said
Why-
you were.
We didn't. Tail did. Regardless, we're not here for us. We're here for Tail. She's the important one here. She's the one that's different.
I would argue you both are, but maybe you are a case for another time.
In the eye of
What
the
is
maelstrom,
so
we all
special
are,
about
Professor.
your friend?
What'd you say, Matt?
In the eye of the maelstrom, Professor, we all are.
He asks, what's so special about your friend, about Teo?
The void, it physically spoke to me. I've heard its voice. It's watching. I could see it when I sought him. When I sought something.
He nods, and I don't know, maybe Teo, you don't notice this, but Harold, he's about to give you the same speech that Ingrid did. Like, almost word for word.
Professor, that's not the path we need to go on right now. We're going to end up in the same place. You don't need to give us the speech.
He chuckles. You are very interesting.
I came here to
Tail out.
seek an answer.
To have an answer, you must have a question.
I need both of them is the problem.
He laughs. Then I am not sure I can be of much help.
I can't explain it. Tail takes a moment to think, and while she's doing this, her eyes flare like she's using her powers, but she's not really doing anything. Before she snaps out and says, "It's hard to remember, but I remember when before all this, before I knew Olga and Miriam and the others, I was somewhere and they did something to me, and how I am here, my mind, it's everything's foggy and hard to think sometimes. What I know is that the void, it literally spoke to me, not in a way that you would believe a precog or someone else to think. The physical manifestation of the void literally spoke to me. Metaphysical manifestation.
He says, there has been countless theories and treatises written on beings living within the maelstrom. None have been confirmed, none are true. Some even claim the maelstrom has a will of its own. I don't believe this. I believe it is a human being's mind looking for answers. In the same way we used to seek God. This thing is unknowable in its whole. It is great and larger and more powerful than any of us. So we seek an answer. We seek a will. We seek a guiding hand.
Tail doesn't.
He laughs. Everyone does, whether they know it or not. I didn't think I did. I thought I was special. I thought I was unique. But I am the same as anyone else. A human mind needs to rationalize what it is experiencing.
Does that have an AI?
He like smiles. I don't know. Until 30 seconds ago, I would have said you were impossible.
I still don't know what he is.
AI are a very well documented facet of existence.
Oh, I know AI. I just don't know you. I don't know psychic AI.
So Harold and I have connected mentally, metasionically. We have connected, and he has seen some of what I have seen, and I would like to do this with someone here to understand, someone who may understand what I see,
Tail's
someone
mind
who understands the maelstrom, the void, whatever you want to call it.
Tail's mind becomes clearer, sharper, when traveling through the maelstrom. She's more connected to it, less confused. Is there a way to induce that here?
I think yeah, okay. I think he says I myself am not gifted in seeing such things, but if you would allow my assistant a moment to look you over, she is better with these things.
Okay, we'll try.
Yeah, I mean, he pulls up his comms terminal and says, Ingrid, if you could join us, please. And she, a moment later, the door opens and she steps through. He says, my dear, I was wondering if you could assess our friend here, Tail. She seems to have a barrier blocking her from the maelstrom, from its reach. I was thinking maybe there was some sort of block on her. Well, if you could see for us. And Ingrid steps forward and she says to Tail, "You'll have to open yourself to me to not stop this. I will need willingness."
I'm open to everyone.
She smiles. "That's good." No, and she like reaches out and like places her hand. I don't know, whatever, like flesh, I guess in your cheek or something, somewhere in your face. She like places her hand. It maybe takes 3 seconds, 5 seconds, and then she lets go. And I think she turns to Olga and says, "I think now might be the time for you to explain why your friend has a blocker placed within her."
That's not a question that any of us know the answer to. Not the real answer, that is.
Turns to Tail. "I think it is important to note that I have seen things like this before. Only in a few circumstances. I have seen them when a psychic was too dangerous to control themselves and needed some form of regulation to stop themselves from hurting either themselves or others. I
I'm
have
not
seen
dangerous. I
in-
don't want to hurt people.
I don't think you do. I have seen it in convicted convicts, in felons, people who had used their powers for ill, for their own gain or to the detriment of others, to escape their rightful confinement.
It's not me.
I don't think that is either. The last place I have seen these sort of blockers is in slaves, indentured servants, who are psychic, whose abilities would not benefit. I think they both turn to look at you, Tail.
I was kidnapped. Taken. That's where it happened to me, and that's why it's hard to think.
She turns to the professor and says, "This is a thing that I could stop. I could remove. But I don't think we should." And the professor like holds up his hand and says, "I think this is something that we will discuss at a later date. Miss Tail, Mr. Ogre, you are free to be about our grounds. I would ask that until a decision is made, you do not leave the bounds of the campus."
We can trade. We have something that we know you want, or you don't know you want, but you will want once you know it exists. That's not precognitive anything. That's just simple logic.
And what is that?
We saw how time works. How it flows. How we get to where we are. How we get to where we're going.
He nods, says, "I think that there are many people within the bounds of this institute who, if your knowledge was true and verifiable, that would be of great interest."
If you help Tail,
Even so.
we'll gladly share it.
He nods. Even so, I would ask that you give us time to discuss, to decide.
What's
And
his
like
surface thoughts like? Unless he's blocking me.
Here we go.
Yeah, I think you get nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the decision there wasn't whether he was able to block you. He's definitely a high enough
Yeah.
meta psionic to block you. And who wouldn't pick fucking
Pre-invocation of it.
yeah, I mean, who wouldn't pick telepathy to block? And of course he has. So I think, yeah, it's that was a decision on whether he was actively blocking you, and I think he is at this point.
Yeah. Can't read you.
That is by choice. I would imagine you would find that it'd be difficult to read anyone in the room right now.
I read everyone. Everyone I meet, I read them.
Not as easily right now, I think. If you could stay within the bounds of the campus. It's been a pleasure. He gestures for the door.
Before we go, Professor, if we may have a question? A direction, rather.
This is a place of learning. Questions are welcome.
If we were to find someone, the dean or head of the precognitives, most experienced, no, not experienced, knowledgeable, who understands the flow of time the most, who would we go to?
And he gives you a name. I don't know what that name is. I'll randomly generate it for you. I think he gives you a name.
Sweet.
Jeremiah Jehoshaphat.
David Solis.
His name is Slane Morris.
I actually know someone called David Solis. I actually know someone with that name in real life, Liam.
That doesn't change his name.
No, I just find it funny.
David Solis?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Professor Harold. Ingrid, it's been an absolute pleasure. Would you mind taking our com information? Or exchanging
He
it?
nods. Yeah, Professor nods. He says, Ingrid, if you don't mind, it would be helpful being able to find them later. She nods. Of course.
Why is everything so hard? I assume we leave.
Yeah, and I think like the last thing we hear as like kind of response to what you said as you were leaving, Ingrid says, because the safety of far more than just you rests on our decision, and you leave.
How much stuff has Green stolen by the time we've walked out?
None. Okay.
None that we can see.
What I mean, this is entirely a decision that Miriam can make. At what point do you want to be at right now when you encounter these two?
Oh man. Well, they were told not to step out of the campus grounds, so I assume Miriam is still not nearby.
Yeah.
Or,
so I imagine
well,
you
depends. It really depends on where Ishtar goes next.
Yeah, I mean, so I imagine you've got her into the campus, you've enrolled her, as it were, and I think maybe you're getting some food or something. Like,
Yeah, that makes
buy
sense.
to eat or something, and yeah, you run into you see these two leaving a building. You see them across the way. I don't think they've seen you yet. You can do something if you wish.
Hmm.
Tails looking more distraught than normal.
Great. So yeah, I think it really depends on Ishtar, but I assume I can. leave
Yeah, I
her
mean, I
alone.
think she's just sitting eating. Like she isn't really paying
Yeah.
that much attention.
So I'll sneak up on them and see what I can learn from Green. And be like, suddenly there's like, so Green, what's happened?
Without missing a beat, Green says they want to see the professor. The professor told them a whole bunch of, I don't know, stuff.
Hmm.
Professor said they have to think about it. They know who Tail is, what she is.
You get the good sense, or do you think you'll have to shoot your way out?
I'm ready for both.
Well, you have my comm number if you need me.
You know, it's you'll hear it if it goes that way.
Yeah, I'm hoping not.
Me too. Don't really know how to fight a psychic. Get inside your head. And I really won't have to deal with that, but if it happens,
Yes.
Do
You know
do we
the-
notice this conversation going on, or are they whispering behind us?
Well, I mean, you hear Green. He doesn't care.
yeah, I mean, Green isn't trying to conceal his voice in any way, shape, or form, so he's just
Then
talking.
Tail would say, "Green, I'm always in your head."
Yeah, some of them want to. I don't even think he fucking responds to that. Actually,
Green, could you please tell Miriam that we told her so? We don't want to interrupt her discretion.
Green. No.
It's all right. She heard it anyway.
You know, there's a good reason to split the gang here. It's pretty obvious, really.
What do you mean?
Well, didn't you like the talk with the professor? Do you think he is hiding something?
I don't know.
Of
Couldn't
course.
read him. Everyone hides something, even you and
Exactly.
Olga. Olga hides many things, like what the hell he is.
To be fair, Green, I just didn't want to get a headache from the conversation they were going to have. I knew this was going to be bad.
Green nods. I think I understood one word in 5.
I always have a headache.
Why, oh why, did you team up with a psychic?
Oh, he's talking Green.
Yeah.
Yep.
He says, "Well, neither of them were getting out without me doing something. I could just leave them."
He
Tail,
said he was leaving anyway.
I was trying to make myself the hero. Yeah, she's right. That was going on anyway.
Well, Augur, are you going to look into the future and see what decision they make?
that won't be necessary.
He's been acting very weird recently, more so than normal.
That's fair.
He brought the professor sandwiches.
The professor
weren't
wanted
very
sandwiches.
good.
That's not true.
He brought
That
the
was-
professor the sandwiches that the professor wanted to eat.
No. Everyone got the
Fucking hate
exact
psychics.
sandwich they wanted to eat in that exact moment. That sandwich was fucking fantastic, Tail.
Tail has never complimented your cooking.
Sure, but it was the exact thing that Tail wanted to eat at that time. Whether Tail admits it or not is something different.
Tail has never complimented anything you've ever made for her.
Tail doesn't have a taste then. Green fucking loved the sandwich, was all I'm saying. All I'm saying.
So,
where are
I'll
you
roll
headed
for
now?
greens. See if he actually did enjoy it. One moment.
So
do
where are
we,
you headed now?
yeah, I mean that's he just gestures at the two in front.
I see. Well, good luck, guys. I'm going to eat something.
Green,
Miriam,
enjoyed your sandwich, Matt.
Miriam, we need to go somewhere with you. Just us.
Okay,
We have a meeting.
sure. And Miriam just kind of looks at you like, yeah, go ahead, show me where I'm going.
All right. Is that a good place for a break, Liam?
Yeah.
We've been going for like 2 hours. I'm fucking hot and I need more water. All right, we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. Stick right there. Chillax. I'm gonna go and end this now because I'm just rambling.